Welcome to Darkened Files, where the shadows speak. We uncover the untold stories behind domestic violence and brutal crimes, exposing the chilling truths hidden in plain sight. Real cases, real voices, no sugarcoating. If you're ready to step inside the darkest corners of reality, you're in the right place.
That's the sickening part about all of this. She's laid out on the concrete by herself.
911, what's the address of the emergency? My name is Asia. I've been called y'all. Don't ask me my name. Y'all got my number. Can I have somebody at 6841 Mayo Boulevard? Ma'am, he just took my whole phone, ma'am. Okay, listen, what is your relationship to him? Who is he? That was my boyfriend. He was going crazy. Please, get somebody here.
In the early hours of May 11, 2023, a lifer slipped custody and took his girlfriend's life. What looked like a normal morning, 28-year-old Asia Davis walking her little girl to the bus turned into a tragedy that still shakes her people and her block. Weeks before, Asia kept dialing 911. She was scared. He was calling and threatening. He had just broken out while serving a life sentence. She begged for help. The cops came late, twice. She didn't get away that morning. When officers finally pulled up, the scene told the story. He had reached her apartment and shot her. Then he did worse. He ran over her body. The more detectives dug, the darker it got, and the story felt familiar. 31-year-old Brianna Howell. Remember her? A woman whose love turned lethal when her boyfriend would kill her moments after leaving jail. Her case, once covered on this channel, mirrors the heartbreak we're seeing again today.
Come on, son. Alright. You ready, babe?
Now, let's look at the tragic life and death of Asia Davis.
You should see her. Oh, do you see them? That's how long her nails are, y'all. Like, do y'all see?
Asia Davis grew up in New Orleans. 28. A mom, her daughter Miles Davis was 5. Folks called Asia bright, funny. The party didn't start till she walked in. Neighbors said she could crack a joke even when bills were tight. She had plans. She had drive. She put in work in healthcare. Certified nursing assistant. She showed up for elders like they were her own. Compassion wasn't a word to her. It was a habit. Co-workers said she stayed locked in, attentive, gentle. People felt safer when Asia clocked in, but her greatest job was at home. Asia was a hands-on mama. Miles was her everything. People saw her fussing over her daughter, hair done, lunch packed, homework checked, laughter in the house, stability in the storm, yard time, bedtime stories. You could feel the love in every routine. Asia leaned on faith too, church on Sundays, community through the week. Her faith held her when life pressed her. She loved pitching in at church events. Her church family said she was the one who showed up first and left last, which is why losing her hit so deep.
She'll make you mad, but then a couple of minutes later, you couldn't do nothing but laugh at her because she was she just was a comedian in her own right.
Asia kept herself sharp, fit, fresh, hair laid, accessories picked with care. She walked in a room and left a mark. That smile could flip a bad day. She had a glow that made folks feel seen, but life shifted when she got involved with a man who would one day become her killer. The joy she gave others met a relationship that turned toxic. Fast, one decision set off a chain she couldn't break. Her boyfriend was Henry Talley Jr., 44 when Asia died. His past was heavy, and too many overlooked it. As a teen in 1996, Henry drove a car in a drive-by that killed a 12-year-old. He wasn't the shooter, but the court still gave him life without parole. That sentence didn't hold. A Supreme Court shift on juvenile sentencing opened the door. Science on young brains. Life without parole deemed too harsh in most cases. Henry's case went back for review. In 2021, after 25 years, he walked out after pleading guilty to manslaughter and attempted murder. Freedom didn't fix his violence. On probation, he met Asia. He presented like he had it together. Anger management, self-help classes, the look of a turnaround, a man rebuilding, maybe redemption, but the image cracked fast. The old pattern showed up. Domestic abuse, this time with Asia. From day one, her people had doubts. The record, unknown to some, hung over them. Family saw red flags early. Her mama warned her. Friends did too. They watched the light dim in a woman who used to light up a room. They saw control, manipulation, aggression. The signs were there, but she kept it close. She didn't want to say out loud that this was the same old pain in new clothes. Then it got worse. He pulled her away from her circle. He planted fear. He made her small. She tried to keep peace, but the room kept shrinking. His temper flashed. His jealousy cooked. Arguments went from words to storms in seconds. Still, Asia tried. She thought she could fix it, like so many women who love and keep trying. The wear showed even when she hid it from the world. But despite the growing tension, Asia held on to hope. She believed Henry could change. The truth was colder. The blows got closer. The joy in her voice went quiet. The woman who loved big started shrinking under the man she loved. The cycle tightened. It ended the way no one wanted, and everybody fears. It ended with death. May 11, 2023. Early morning. Routine as ever. Asia dressed her baby for school, kissed her forehead, sent her off. Regular day, she thought. Last goodbye, nobody knew. By mid-morning, shots. Multiple. Fired by her boyfriend, Henry Talley Jr. Neighbors saw them arguing outside an apartment complex. She was trying to end it. He threw accusations. Cheating. Lies. She pleaded hurt. Confused. Asking if he was really going to do this. Seconds later, gunfire. Asia hit the ground. Fatal. It didn't stop there. After shooting her, he got behind the wheel of a gold SUV. He ran over her. Twice. Final. People on the block froze. Shocked. He sped off. Sirens. Tape. Questions. Detectives pulled statements. The timeline formed. Neighbors said Asia was scared, guarding herself, trying to get away. It became clear this wasn't the first time violence had lived in that relationship. Her daughter was safe at school. She didn't see what happened. She didn't know her mama wouldn't be there that afternoon. NOPD rolled up, but too late. Asia was gone, pronounced at the scene.
Information on this incident is limited, but we do know one woman is dead, and we know the victim is female. I'm told by people on the scene that she was in her mid-20s. Police say that they received a call right after 9 a.m. of a woman laying in the street at the intersection, of Mayo Boulevard and I-10 Service Road. When police arrived on scene and at that intersection, they say they found a woman with multiple gunshot wounds. She was pronounced dead on scene.
The city felt it, heavy. People asked how. How did we get here? A caregiver taken in the most senseless way. Henry had a record. He had a pattern. He pushed it to murder. Investigators worked the days that followed. Henry was the name from the start. He had already run. While police hunted him, grief spread. Family, friends, co-workers, everybody who'd seen Asia show up with love. They remembered a mother and a nurse aide who did not deserve this ending. And then came what cut worse proof the system missed her, twice. Weeks before her death, she had called for help. 2 separate domestic violence calls, 2 warnings.
Asia Davis is one of 6 women killed in New Orleans in the span of a month. According to dispatch records, the young mother called for help, but seemingly authorities failed her.
2 911 calls, fear in her voice.
On April 6th, Asia Davis called 911.
Ma'am, he just took my whole phone, ma'am. Okay, listen, what is your relationship to him? Who is he? That was my boyfriend. He was going crazy. Please, get somebody here. Was y'all fighting or anything? I didn't touch him. He hit me.
By the time officers showed, Henry was gone. Both calls stamped gone on arrival. Too late. No suspect. No help. Frustration turned to anger.
Boy, nobody never came yet.
The lack of response angering the young woman.
My name is Asia. I've been called y'all. Don't ask me my name. Y'all got my number.
A woman in need of help.
Ma'am, is somebody coming soon? I have been reported this 2 hours ago.
NOPD didn't arrive till 5 a.m. the next day.
The system failed Asia. Twice. Those delays sparked outrage at home. On the block at City Hall, Council President J.P. Morrell asked the questions out loud.
This woman reached out twice to the New Orleans Police Department through 911 and made complaints fearing for her life.
Why weren't these calls urgent? Why did it take this long? Why did change come after a death? As detectives kept digging, Henry's past stood in the light. Violence wasn't new. It went back to 1996 when he was 17. A drive-by, a 12-year-old boy killed. He drove the car. He still got life. Years later, the Supreme Court shifted the law on juvenile life without parole. Brain science, second chances. His case got reviewed. He walked out in 2021 after 25 years, pleading to manslaughter and attempted murder. Freedom didn't fix who he was. By May 2023, 2 years later, he was in another violent relationship with Asia. The abuse escalated. It ended in gunfire on a New Orleans street. It took 6 days to catch him. News broke.
A man accused of his ex-girlfriend in New Orleans is set to appear in court today. Henry Talley Jr. is facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder and stalking, for allegedly killing Asia Davis back in May. Investigators say Talley forced her into his vehicle and then drove over her body as he got away. Prior to that, Davis called police twice to report Talley had threatened her. He pleaded not guilty to the charges.
May 17, 2023, officers found Henry on the 2600 block of Governor Nichols Street. First-degree murder, parole violation. They booked him into the New Orleans Justice Center, bond set at $750,000. He's still locked up waiting on a first-degree murder trial. Folks exhaled when he was caught, but the question wouldn't move. Why did it take 6 days? Why did justice walk while he ran? Asia's death pointed at something bigger, domestic violence, a system that moves slow when women say help. Her family's pain lit up a hard conversation. Response times, broken processes, survivors left hanging.
You call the police over and over and over, the police never come. So it tears me up a lot of days.
This wasn't a one-off. Her name joined a list. Her story became a chant. New Orleans, across the country, people demanded better for DV calls.
As it relates to the violent incidents in the past, I would say 24 hours in the city relative to women, what I will say is none of these acts are random at all. And what we have to understand that women also play a role in violent activity in our city. And so they will remain under active investigation.
Council President J.P. Morrell called it out. Delays cost lives. He pushed for change in how those calls get handled. Safety first. No more shrugging.
For us as a city to have victims and survivors take us seriously, we don't prioritize their safety by thinking a 12-hour response on 2 complaints of domestic violence is acceptable.
The talk shifted. Less blame, more action. Fix it so nobody else ends like Asia.
That's what we see in this case regarding Miss Davis. Well, she's dead now. She's dead.
Neighbors showed up. The city gathered in grief and in fury. Vigils, protests, community meetings. People put pressure on power. In the wake of her murder, her people didn't fold. They rallied. They linked with groups like the National Domestic Violence Hotline. They used their voices. They told the truth about danger. They pushed for urgency when survivors call. Asia's death wasn't just personal loss. It was a siren for New Orleans and beyond. Her story opened the mic. Survivors came forward. Families came forward. The call for change got loud. Her name became a promise. Her legacy lives in that fight for justice, for safety, for dignity. Her story says do more. Protect people at risk. Move before the next headline. My heart is with Asia's family and everyone who loved her. We're not letting this go.